seen these AI cameras?
He was just telling me about them.
Perfect. You ready? All right, guys, check this out, man. We're here without Mayest. He actually came from Kansas City. We appreciate the effort he's put in to make it out here, man. Got him to the blendery. I'm going to walk you through coffee, man. It's going to be 30 fucking videos, all coffee related. I've got a coffee guru here. You're a coffee fanatic, would you say, huh?
Dude, it's in me. That's for sure, it's in me.
And if I could help you do anything in terms of communicating about your brand, Bo has got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 bags here, right? Are any of these the same?
No.
Which means there's 5 videos to do right here. Some people try to rush through these things. Look, take your time. Pull all the information you can out of someone who really loves what they do. It'd be like you showing me one dog. The first time Barry saw us, I said, now go get the next dog. He was like, what's happening? Go get the next dog. You got how many dogs you got? Yeah, we doing videos on every last one. They cooked his brain. It's like, that's crazy. But this is a step 1 to talking coffee. And this ain't one on the coffee page yet. The next video will be about coffee. But anything you want them to know about coffee or just your brand in general before we get into the coffee side of it?
Yeah, so Thou Mayest Coffee, it means the way is open. It's from a John Steinbeck book called East of Eden. It means the choice is yours. You've got the pen in your hand. The destiny is on your side and in your court. So if it's a blank page and you have the pen, what story are you going to write? What's the picture going to look like? So that's where it started. We started off in a garden, gardening with friends, and we bring people over, kind of like you guys do. Bring people here over food. So we'd be teaching them what's a weed, what's the difference between different types of tomatoes.
So there are good weeds.
There can be, yeah. They can be.
I wish I would have known this when I was a kid, because I would have told my grandma, fuck them weeds. Them weeds is needed.
Yeah, there are some beneficial ones, and there's like the noxious kind, which are like, they're, almost like prohibited. Anyway, so we invite people over, and we're just educating them. We were just, ultimately, we're hanging out. And so afterwards we'd go, and we bought a little home roaster, and we were just roasting beans in the garage. So it all just started in the garage, like, talking about life. It's like, hey, I'm wrestling through something, and we'd be wrestling together. Next thing we were like doing it and roasting coffee. We had brewing beer, we were making soap, we were, what we'd do is we'd go out there and harvest all the vegetables and come in and have these huge like salad dinners, and it would just get this, so people would just tell each other like, oh, you got to go hang out with these guys on Sunday nights. So we'd be over there picking around on a guitar. We'd have these big fires. Somebody brought a didgeridoo one time. Like, it just turned into this, like, every week. It was like, who's showing up? And it was magic, and it's a fun time. And that's where I'm like, if we can create more of those kind of, those emergent celebrations of not just around food, and that's where coffee is it's just an excuse. So when people are saying, let's go grab coffee, it's just an excuse to get together, to exchange ideas, go on a date, maybe even spend time with yourself. Hey, I'm going to go grab coffee because I need a moment to get real with myself. And so that's kind of where it all started. Why did I stick with coffee instead of beer or the garden or whatever? My family still does the gardening stuff. They still do a lot with horticulture, and that's my background, is in horticulture and botany, in the plant sciences, and just the medicinal values that some of them can have. And then I got into design, and that's where you can start to see some of the designs in the bags and stuff like that, where people are like, whoa, these are crazy. And I'm like, oh.
I think every time I've talked to Tim, he always says, I love this packaging.
Yeah.
And he got to tell you today, like, I love the packaging.
Yeah, when I started off, it was just a bunch of black and silver bags on shelves. Or if you were going to go local, you'd do craft bags. So and I was like, there's a way we can do it like really well, and try to give people, like, make sure the outside and the inside like match together. So anyway, this has been a crazy journey for me. ThouMayest.com, thou_mayest on the socials. We love what we do, and that's, creating a team of passionate people who give a rip, who want to put the time in, who it's hard to turn it off for the day sometimes, which it could be bad, it could be good.
I wish I had an office. I go to bed with Shark Tank on.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I thought through everything else. Let me watch one episode of Shark Tank before I pass out, just so I can make sure the mind's still thinking business. But guys, we've got 30 videos to get through, and I got to make up some food. Then he's got to get back to Oklahoma. So stay tuned, people. Follow Thou Mayest. The journey begins now. All right, so Bo, I heard you say this earlier about decaffeinated. Now walk them through what's happening in the decaffeinated community. I didn't even know coffee could be decaffeinated.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways you can take caffeine out of the seed, out of the coffee. It's not through the roasting process. It's through, you can use like ethyl acetate, which is why decaf coffee has never been very tasty. It's never been very good. People are like, man, it tastes like beef broth, or it tastes like, I don't know, they have, your mom drinks decaf, death before decaf.
Oh,
and so
wow.
because they were using all
Death
these
before
chemicals,
decaf.
yeah, they were like, what's the point? Like,
It's like the vegans. They like, don't need protein, but let me take 17 supplements to make sure that I get all the protein I need.
What's the point? Yeah, it's like you just want something hot to hold. I've got, there's teas that you could have, or why this? Why are you going to all that effort to take caffeine out, and then where does it go once you've taken it out too? So just learning a little bit more about it, and I'm still there's a lot of science that goes into that to get all of the caffeine out, but ultimately we're using like very natural processes, trying to keep a lot of those sugar content in that coffee. Ours is we only do it natural. So a lot of people are having a lot of anxiety, panic, and just they're overstimulated, and this is a way to take the edge off it. That's why we call it laid back.
Yeah, you got it, people. Now, look, I'm going to ask them a few more questions just because, look, I just heard a bunch of stuff I ain't never heard before about decaf and regular coffee. Stay tuned. Now, regular coffee causes anxiety. They say high blood pressure.
It can. I mean, if it depends on everybody.
What's your favorite bag out of these?
Oh, man. Right now, it's this guy right here. Yeah,
But you said this is supposed to be cold brew.
I like it hot too. I just had it hot this morning. I actually blended the two.
All right, finish what I just asked. Let me finish.
So on the decaf side, there's people, especially right now with just everything going on in the world, it can be pretty overstimulating. And so, taking these very, I mean, you're dumping a lot of what is coffee? It's just an insecticide. So if you think about what it is, it's like the plant produces this to keep bugs off of it. And we have created a symbiotic relationship with this plant, and some would say an addiction, where we love it, we keep coming back to it. And if that can get your body out of whack, and so we have the decaf where some people like to blend them as like half calves, 3/4 calves, things like that to be able to take some of the edge off of it. I think it's good to take a fast from it every now and then. It's just good to keep everything in moderation. Some people, they'll get really bad migraines and headaches when they stop drinking caffeine. That's where when I know that I need to like chill out a little bit and take it easy, and I'll use decaf to kind of cut my intake on that caffeine. But coffee is so subjective into how people react to it, how people perform under it. So really it's a matter of like finding what you like and the way that you like it. It can be hot, it can be cold, it could be using an espresso machine, it could be using Chemex or pour over, drinking it out of a mug or out of a, it don't matter, and it's like, that's where, being able to hold it in a way where you don't crush it, so you keep it like loose, and it's like, so about you and how you like it. So
there you have it, guys. And we're going to talk more about that in the next video. Let's go. All right, now walk me through this unwired coffee bean. It says rojo. What does that say?
Tuya. Yeah, this is a fun one. This is one of my passion projects. So this is working with Unwired. So a guy named John and his son Chinny, and it's their journey to get back to Kenya, to get back into coffee. John he lives over here. He lives a little bit west of Kansas City in a place called Lawrence, Kansas. If you ever heard of the Jayhawks, that's where he's at. So he's got a farm out there, and he's got a farm also back in Kenya. So he spends kind of time going back and forth. His son, I met him, and coffee actually helps him. So it doesn't freak him out. He's got a severe autism, and he'll come in and he's really he's all over the place. Then he has coffee, and then you'll just kind of see him go kind of get normal. It regulates him. He kind of gets into this zone where we can he packages all the coffee. He helps us work out on the floor. So it's fun just to be involved with Chenny. Anyway, young man.
But this is not a medical claim. Coffee does not help kids with autism.
It can. Like, there's a huge part of the autism community that like came out of the woodwork when we started doing this. Like, I had no idea, but my younger brother has some severe autism as well, and so he's got some severe mental handicap. So this to me is all about my passion project. We've got all sorts of different links to go to the project and see the videos and see the real story behind John and Chinny and how it relates to what we do. But it's one of those, like, just trying to be able to give back with some of this and be able to give Chinny something an outlet for him and to create skill sets that he can develop later in life. So
yeah, but what makes a great coffee business. In your case, you've been doing coffee for how many years?
13, 14 years now. Yeah. So, and it's not that long in the coffee game. Like some guys have been like doing it for 30, 40 years. It's crazy.
You've had 13 years of both success, opportunity,
failure,
failed moments, but even more importantly, growth.
Yeah.
Human growth, mental growth. What keeps or makes a brand successful?
Oh man, so many different factors. So it's all about what you're wanting to get out of it. And for me, what I want to try to do is get people closer to plants, get them closer to the natural world, and get them closer to themselves through connectivity. And I think coffee is a great excuse. It's a low barrier to entry. Again, when people say, let's go grab a cup of coffee, there's usually an underlying excuse as to why you want to get together. So it's a great reason to share, whether it's dates, going on a night out with a friend. For us, we have a liquor license at some of our cafes as well, where people can come and connect, like even over cocktails. We use coffee and all that stuff. We use it as an ingredient. We use it as a single origin. We'll blend it. We decaf it. We have everything in between, and that's where I'm like giving people character behind each of the packages, behind the brand, giving the brand the voice. Letting the brand kind of speak for itself and then connect people, and then you kind of get out of the way. And to me, like I've had an opportunity to buy into a coffee company before, and that's when I realized, like, what are you buying? Because are you buying assets? Are you buying a lease? Are you buying like a brand? And what happens when you end up? Do people like that brand? I had to put.
We'll talk about that in the next video.
All right.
Let's go. Now, but when you say branding, and again, guys, one of the things that we're working with mayest on and our guy Bo is building our brand. And I said, man, I got to learn enough about coffee. Now, I've been drinking it for years. Didn't understand the business side, man. And like, what's your first thought when someone comes to you and says, hey, man, I want to build a coffee brand?
I usually kind of smile because I'm like, oh, how naive. But I've been there too, where it's like, have you checked the C market? Did you know that coffee is the second highest traded commodity behind crude oil? Do you know how much coffee is actually out there? How many different levels on different floors in different break rooms across all the skyscrapers, across all those business parks and, coffee shops, people's homes? Like, how many coffee machines you got in here? I see 3 just sitting right here, So it's like, everybody's...
I got 4. Look, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I got 4 coffee machines.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
So there's one back there.
Yeah, I see it, yeah. So it's there's a lot. And it's, again, second highest traded commodity behind crude oil. It's been used as nefarious. It's been used kind of nefariously in the past. And not to get too much into, the old models of doing things, but I'm like, the new model is like, being able to connect people to these farms and to these origins. Some people in the wine world, fancy French word called terroir, and it's like, it just means of the earth, and being able to talk about of the earth, and it's like, I'm back in the garden, I'm just talking to people about like weeds and about tomatoes and about carrots and about, it's just produce, right? And it's like, this is just produce, and if we can connect over that, like how much more important things, maybe some bigger issues that we could move to at some point, and that's where, So
the question is, should someone start a coffee brand or not?
I think so.
Okay, in the next video we'll talk about that. Let's go.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. This is good. This is good practice. Look, all this.
Dude, you're rapid fire. This is good. I did it the other day where I was like, "Go, let's go again."
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I sent them a to-do list. Like, hey, this is all the stuff we got to do. Now, in your case, I talked to you a little bit about the grind. Man, how important is the grind when it comes to your beans specifically?
Yeah, so grinding is your grinder that you use, like the way that you're going to extract the oil from these beans. Yeah. You're going to end up trying to get flavor. You're trying to get different notes to come out of them. So how you extract that, whether it's through a cold process or using like a machine like this that has pressure going into it, steam, hot water versus cold water. So how you extract it is going to be really important.
And you know a lot about this Opus grinder?
This one right here.
Yeah.
Enough. I mean,
what would you recommend I put the grind on?
So if you're it depends on how you want to brew it. If you're just doing a kind of a coffee maker, drip coffee, it's going to be a medium grind. So you're going to go straight in the middle on something like this. So if I don't know what's it go to 10 or 12?
Look, see the thing. What would you say based on that?
You're going to be in probably 7 range.
7. Yeah. So you're saying go 7.
Probably. I mean,
well, it does say coffee maker cupping.
Yeah. So that's where it's talking about in your pour over too, and that's where I'm like, pour over is going to get you close. You want it a little finer on the pour over, But you go coarser into the, if you want to do French press, you have it like as coarse as possible.
So 7 with this thing. Look, I'm about to try a couple 7 guys. Stay tuned.